What helps grow resources in Build Your Wolfpack? B. Compounding success. What does game theory help with in the game? C. Making smarter choices. Welcome to the super exciting world of Build Your Wolfpack. Today, we're going on an awesome adventure where we'll learn how to become top-notch business leaders, just like in the real world. But first, let's get our game board ready and dive into the magic of making your very own Wolfpack. With just a few coins in our pocket and a big dream to make more, we're going to figure out the secrets of winning this game together. It's going to be fun, it's going to be challenging, and best of all, you're going to become super smart business wizards by the end of it. So, are you ready to build your Wolfpack and become the leader of the pack? Let's zoom into our game world and start this amazing journey. The power of alliances. The rule we're talking about is Law 2, which says, never put too much trust in friends. Learn how to use enemies. This might sound a bit strange at first, but it's really useful for the game. What it means is that sometimes, people we think are not our friends can actually become very good allies if we know how to work with them. In the game Build Your Wolfpack, you start with just a few things and try to make your business bigger. To do well, you need to make smart choices about who to team up with. This rule tells us that making friends with someone who used to be an enemy can be a smart move. Why? Because when someone who didn't like you before starts helping you, they often try really hard to be a good ally. They might do this to show they are loyal now, or because they have changed their mind about being your enemy. This idea is important in the game, because having strong allies can make your team stronger and help you win. So, thinking carefully about who could be on your team, even if they were not friendly before, is a smart strategy. The long-term game. Imagine you're playing a game that lasts a really long time, like Build Your Wolfpack. In this game, you don't just think about what's going to happen next or soon. Instead, you think about what will happen way later, like planning for a super long adventure. In this part of the game, we learn from a smart person named Naval Ravikant. He tells us that it's a good idea to play games that take a long time, because those kinds of games help us make friends who will stick with us for a long time too. These are the kinds of friends who help each other out and grow together. So when you're playing Build Your Wolfpack, you're not just trying to win quickly. You're trying to build a team or a wolfpack that will be strong not just today, but for many days, weeks, or even years to come. This means choosing friends in the game who are trustworthy and will help you keep getting better over time. Just like in real life, when you make good friends and help each other, you all do better together. In the game, this is called steady growth. It means you and your team get stronger little by little, not all at once. And that's really important if you want to do well in the game for a long time, not just a short while. Compounding success. Let's talk about a cool idea called compounding success. This idea is a bit like magic that helps you grow things bigger over time. Imagine you have a small plant. If you take good care of it, it grows a little bit every day. The next day, it grows a little more, and then even more the day after that. This happens because each day, the plant grows from the extra size it gained the day before. That's how compounding works. In the game Build Your Wolfpack, this idea of compounding can help you a lot. Let's think about this in terms of the game and money. Suppose you start the game with a little bit of money. If you make smart choices, you can make more money. The next time you make a decision, you have your original money plus the extra money you made. If you keep making smart choices, the amount of money you have grows bigger and faster. Warren Buffett, a very wise man who knows a lot about making money grow, teaches us that making smart decisions can help our money grow bigger over time, just like the plant. In the game, if you keep making wise decisions, your resources and power in the game can grow just like that. This doesn't just happen right away. It takes time and good choices, one after the other. In Build Your Wolfpack, you also need to think about how every choice you make can help you in the future. It's like building a tower with blocks. If you place the first few blocks carefully, your tower can grow very tall because it has a strong base. But if you're not careful, it might topple over easily. Leveraging game theory. Game theory is a way to study how people make decisions when they are competing with others. It's like trying to figure out the best move in a game when you know the other players are also trying to win. In the game Build Your Wolfpack, game theory helps you think about the best ways to grow your business and beat your competition. First, let's talk about what game theory is all about. Imagine you're playing a game where you have to choose between two moves, sharing your toys, or keeping them all to yourself. If you share, the other player might share their toys with you, and you both end up having fun. But if you keep your toys to yourself, the other player might not want to play with you anymore. Game theory helps you figure out which choice might be better by thinking about what the other player might do. In Build Your Wolfpack, you use game theory to make smart choices. You start with a few resources, like money and helpers, and your goal is to make your business grow. But there are other players trying to grow their businesses too. You need to think about what they might do. For example, if you think another player is going to focus on making money quickly, you might decide to make strong alliances with other players to build a stronger team. This way, even if they make money fast, you have friends to help you catch up. Game theory also tells us that it's important to understand everyone's goals. Each player wants something different, and if you know what that is, you can make better choices. For example, if a player wants to expand their business in the same area as you might need to work harder in that area, or maybe find a new area where you won't have as much competition. Another part of game theory is about predicting what your opponents will do next. This is like trying to guess the next move in a game of chess. If you can guess right, you can prepare and make a better move yourself. In Build Your Wolfpack, if you think a player will invest in something that will make them very strong, you might decide to do something to slow them down, or find a way to be stronger in another area. Using game theory gives you a competitive advantage, which means it helps you do better than others in the game. By thinking about what other players might do and planning your moves based on that, you can often stay one step ahead. It's like being a detective, looking for clues about what your competition wants and figuring out the best way to respond. Practical tips for beginners. When you're just starting to play a game like Build Your Wolfpack, it's really exciting, but it can also be a bit confusing because there's so much to learn. Here are some practical tips to help new players like you get better at the game quickly and have more fun while playing. Choosing strategies wisely. When we talk about choosing strategies wisely, think of it like planning your moves in a game of chess. Every decision you make should help you get closer to winning the game. In Build Your Wolfpack, you need to think about how each choice will affect your game later. For example, if you decide to spend all your money at the start, you might not have enough later when you really need it. So, you need to plan carefully and think about the long term, not just what seems fun or easy right now. Managing risks. Managing risks means being careful not to put yourself in situations where you could lose a lot. It's like when you decide whether to climb a really high tree. If the tree is very tall and looks shaky, climbing to the top might be too risky because you could fall. In the game, taking big risks can sometimes lead to big rewards, but it can also mean big problems. You should try to balance the chances you take so that you don't put your game in danger. For instance, instead of putting all your resources into one big plan, you could spread them out in smaller, safer ways. This way, if one plan doesn't work out, you still have other resources to keep playing. Learning from past mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes, and that's okay. The important thing is to learn from them. In Build Your Wolfpack, you might make a bad trade or choose a strategy that doesn't work. Instead of getting upset, think about what went wrong and how you can avoid making the same mistake next time. This is a really important skill, not just in games, but in real life too. By learning from what didn't work, you can get better and smarter in your next game. To make these tips easier to use, here are some ways you can practice them. Before playing the game, plan a few different strategies. Think about what might happen with each one, and decide which seems the safest and most likely to help you win. While playing, keep an eye on what others are doing. Sometimes, you can learn good ideas from watching other players. You can also learn from their mistakes, so you won't make the same ones. After the game, talk about what happened. Discuss what moves helped you and what didn't work out. This can make it easier to remember for next time. By following these tips, you'll not only get better at Build Your Wolfpack, but you'll also have more fun because you'll understand the game better. Remember, even the best players started as beginners, and they got better by learning a little more each time they played. So, grab your game pieces, set up your strategy, and get ready to build your best wolf pack yet.